In recent years, as the speeds have increased so dramatically on the racetracks around the country, there's been a growing concern over aerodynamics in automobiles.
Here's a brief report on another notable achievement in motor racing that occurred this week. This was Buddy Baker, a top NASCAR stock car driver, on Tuesday of this week at the new 2.66-mile Alabama International Speedway in Talladega, Alabama. During runs conducted for transmission testing, Buddy became the first man in history to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier on a closed race course.
Plymouths, Fords, Mercurys, Dodges are taken straight from the dealer's showroom and then specially engineered, tuned, and balanced with spacecraft precision to one specification: maximum safety at maximum speed.
Today's National 500 marks the first full-scale confrontation of Dodge's new streamlined Daytona Charger against the Ford factory team. It is a stock car because 500 had to be built and sold to the public before it qualified to race. Carburetor plate that was ordered put on the cars at mid-season this year. The idea of the carburetor plate was to reduce speed through the reduction of engine horsepower. A very inexpensive way was devised to do this. A plate with smaller holes in it has been installed on all the cars. Thanks, Bill. The Southern 500 is a continuing technical exercise. This year, the drivers come to the line with carburetor plates between the carburetors and the engines. It's slowing the cars down and robbing them of horsepower. And what that has done has tightened up the competition. The slowest car is much faster than the slowest car was a year ago. In other words, the field is closer together. And this year, windows are out of the cars. A year ago, they were optional. So the drivers are now racing without the benefit of the streamlining afforded the windows.
It is time to begin the 1970 Daytona 500 with the world's greatest stock car field. Gentlemen, start your engines.
There's some cars that look fast standing still. And then there's the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, a car built for pure speed, aerodynamics, and to dominate the racetrack. How's it going, everyone, and welcome to part 1 of my Aero Warriors project for Assetto Corsa. This project is going to be covering the 1969 and 1970 NASCAR Grand National seasons along with the 1970 and 1971 USAC stock car seasons. The goal of my project is simple: recreating every Aero Warriors car that raced during these historical seasons with incredible detail and letting you have a chance to drive them. But I hear you. What were the Aero Warriors? Well, here's a great video I highly recommend that will give you more info than my brief summary. Ford was dominating on the racetrack. Their 69 Torino Talladega was blistering quick, and Chrysler needed a change. So they took their Charger 500 and did something radical. They added an aerodynamic nose cone to the front and mounted a 23-inch spoiler to the rear. What they created, many called ugly. Some not traditional. Even a monster. But that monster was quick, breaking records on and off the track. With the release of Part 1, you'll now have a chance to drive over 120 different paint schemes for 39 different drivers, giving you the chance to have a full field of Dodge Daytonas. From legends such as Buddy Baker, Charlie Glotzbach, and Marty Robbins, to drivers and cars you might only find in NR 2003. And if you haven't noticed already, behind me is a fantastic recreation of Daytona from 1970. But these Dodge Daytonas raced on many other tracks during the time, such as Atlanta, Charlotte, Darlington, Michigan, Pocono, Riverside, Talladega, and even Martinsville. So for now, I'll leave with this 10-lap race around Daytona, where I'll be piloting 1971 USAC stock car driver Dick Toby Tobias' car that he raced at Pocono for the Pennsylvania 500. Be sure to check the description below where you have a link to my Patreon where you can download all these paint schemes for free. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stick around for part 2 releasing for the Plymouth Superbird soon. Now kick back, turn your speakers up, and enjoy some vintage NASCAR action.